good. Dr. V was a little bummed. I had to work him over. I'm not going to tell you why. Let me tell you, for a guy who's like all the way up there in his profession, he gets bummed easily. So his PB has got to be there for him and talk to him and help him out. And it's always my pleasure to be there for my pledge brother. I love him. And there he is. Look at that grin. And always got to start it. Here we are. I'm me, Mark Friedman, Dr. V, Joe Volpicelli, Dr. Joseph Volpicelli, not Botticelli, Volpicelli.
With a V.
With a V. Who's going to be here with us Mother's Day next Sunday. We won't be on this. We're just going to go right up to the time and leave, but we'll be doing it next week. However, what's happening? The economy. The Fed. Did anybody watch the Fed today? Dr. V, did you watch the Fed today?
I did not. I've been busy all day.
I don't.
What did the Fed say?
What did the Spartacus?
Hey, Spartacus.
What did the Fed say? The Fed's worried about stagflation.
Oh my God. Where did they come up with that idea?
Stagflation? You mean we may have stagflation? It may happen. The economy may go into a recession. Unemployment may be going up and inflation may be going up at the same time. That may happen. That may happen.
That's a shock.
I'm shocked too.
Who would have seen that coming?
Not us. We've only been talking about it since December, and we've been saying, and this is what people have been missing. I've been consistent. It doesn't happen overnight. It's piece by piece by piece by piece, because when you're breaking up something, it's the big ship. When you're breaking up something that's so strong, it's not going to turn on a dime. It goes up, it slowly turns and slowly comes around. The day the Fed Reserve was talking to the chairman of the Fed and said he's not sure where it's going right now. He's not sure. I am, but he's not. Okay. And because everybody, what's happening is this is what's interesting. Everybody got nervous. It was all over the papers. It's all over the TV. It's all over everywhere. Who's up there? Who's talking there? It's all over. Somebody's talking. I've been hearing it. It's all over the news.
Interior design person. This is going to cost me a lot of money. Oh, geez. To do the kitchen over. Oh, God.
Are you on there?
Yeah.
Oh, on the air? You're saying this?
We are. Hola.
You see this thing?
Please end this immediately. Add an apology to the community page. Who said this? YouTube. Chat service.
Who is this?
Failure to take action. Channel strike. Thanks. What?
What is going on here?
What?
Well, I don't know what's happening here. Hey, Diclon, we don't need
Spartacus knows.
Spartacus, do you know about that? I figure that's fake news.
All right.
Who is this YouTube chat service? Come on. Good talking to you. I'm assuming it's like one of those text messages you get saying the Secret Service is waiting for you at the district court. If you don't get there, they're going to put you in jail because you owe them money. Remember, and then they hit one, and it'll take you. It's one of those, fake setups. That's what I think this is. Of course, it's a bot. Thank you, Deal and everybody else. I got to sue. I mean, come on. So let's get back to where we were. It must be somebody really was bummed about hearing what we had to say. Let's get back to where we were. Oh, man. So we're in a position where now the Fed sees it. So what's happening is it's slowly starting to turn this ship. The Biden economy was strong. I mean, let's understand something. The Biden economy was really strong. Things are going good. Things are going, and we are not the Secret Service.
This is
We love you too. I'm sorry. Why am I even looking at this? It's funny. Okay, either way. So we've been saying for a while that the economy takes a while to start turning because the economy's been so strong and the economy has just been hanging in with everything. So now what's starting to happen is it's the small businesses that are going to get smashed.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's what everybody's missing here. It's not going to, as we've said, it's going to take a while. We were saying June and July. I'm still sticking to June and July. We're going to really start seeing some numbers, but we're seeing that the votes aren't coming in. It's not the big companies that I'm worried about. GM says they're going to get hurt. Ford says they're going to get hurt, and they're all going to get hurt, but they're gigantic, and they're going to figure a way out of it. And they're going to pay $1 million to Trump's campaign or $2 million or to the inaugural
There'll be
whatever or something.
exceptions.
Right, or they'll buy his crypto, or they'll buy his meme coin so he can show up to dinner. They'll do something. The big guys can do something like that, but the little guys can't. And the strength of America is always supposed to have been the small business, right? Small business is what makes things just rock in this country. And what's happening is we're going to be putting them out of business because when you're small, you can't just understand the supply chains. If you've been dealing with China and you sell tchotchkes or you sell electronics or you sell this kind of stuff, you can't suddenly change it to somebody else. You don't have 90 days to do it. You don't know where to go. And what are your other suppliers? Who are you going to go to? Everybody else is a minimum 10%. All the others are going to get hit on top of it unless there's a deal and he pulls it down. And he may make deals with them, but still the fact that the tariffs are in now are putting these small companies in big trouble. And that's where we are, Dr. V. And I don't think people see it coming, but that's where the real problem is. It's not the big guys. All you hear talk about are the big guys. Talk about the small businesses on the street. Ask them how business is. Ask them what they're going to do if they can't get inventory. Ask them what they're going to do if prices go up. Ask them if they can afford to hold the difference. Hyundai goes in and says they're going to pay the difference. I think Toyota says they are too. They will for months. Can little guys do that? Can little companies do that? How are they going to be able to make? If they were looking to expand, how can they expand? They don't know if supplies are coming in. Right. They don't know who's going to buy. So even if there's money out there to buy, if there's no, I'm not talking about empty shelves, but I'm talking about a lot less. And I'm talking about companies trying to make money that are not going to have enough to be able to sell to stay in business. And that's what people are missing. And that's where we're going to start seeing it's like the snake at the end as it starts turning and starts just gripping. And it just takes a while, and we're getting there because you can start, you're smelling it, you're hearing people talking about it, but it's just taking so long, Dr. V, that everybody's going, maybe it won't happen. Maybe it won't happen, right?
They're all talking about the stock market. Trump's going to pull it out of his rear end and make all these tariff deals.
We love you, Tim.
And he's just doing this for a show. This is just to get people's attention, but he has no intention really of carrying through with the tariffs. That he's really going to.
Does. Of course he does. That's what everybody's missing. Hey, Tim. Hey, Mark. We love you both. Listen, but he believes in this. This goes to his basic soul. He's not talking about walking away from the 10% tariffs, which are in there. We're always going to have tariffs across the board. The question is what he's going to charge tariffs. I mean, if you saw, there is talk now that he has been telling, or not he, whoever's having the negotiations, which means it's him because he runs everything, is now saying to these countries, look, you want to make a deal with us, you also have to get Starlink. And if you use Starlink, which is Elon Musk, and if you use Starlink, maybe you get a better deal.
Oh, my.
It's right there. I think it was the Journal or something today.
Oh, my.
Right there. Okay? That's because we have such cronyism going on. That's the other thing people aren't picking up here. Not only are they destroying the small businesses, but they're helping themselves to a whole lot of that money that those small businesses are going to lose, Dr. V. You see, that's the problem. People are sitting there thinking this guy's fighting for them, and they're not. He's not. None of these people are fighting for you. They're up there fighting for themselves to put the money in their pocket. I know our MAGA friends get bummed about this. You sit there, the MAGAs, you say it, they get bummed. You say it, they get bummed. They go, ain't true. You're out of it. You're libs. You're old. year old. You're not good looking. Yeah, we're not good looking. You guys don't know what you're talking about. That's not true. So so you'll sit there and do it. Look at this. I love this kind of stuff, but it's just pop, 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 pop. Too much. Tell me.
What do we do about it? What can we do about it? So number one, I think people need to be aware of this. So getting the message out is really important. But I think a lot of people don't want to hear the message, and people are frustrated that there's nothing that they can do about it.
Well, there's nothing you can do. That's the thing. That's what everybody's missing. You can get bummed. You can go out and protest. But remember, Joe, there's nothing to do yet because people haven't really felt it. And that's what we've been talking about. And that's everybody keeps expecting to feel it. So they go on and say, we're worried and things aren't going to do well, but they really haven't felt it yet. But when they start feeling it is when they get out there and start getting mad and saying, where are my gifts? I can't afford gifts for my kids. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. And that's because the supply lines are going to just break up just like they did during COVID. And we're going to be in the, but the difference is you're not going to have all the supplies suddenly come back, whooshing back in like they did after COVID because we shut down. It's not a shutdown. It's tariffs. It's money. So people aren't going to just start whooshing back in the way they did then. And then all the prices went up. Remember, your supply lines came in. It took years to get those supply lines back, to get supplies because everybody wanted to buy something. That's not going to be that way this time. You're not going to have pent up buying. You're going to have people who just can't afford it. And that's what the problem's going to be. It's just going to be crazy. Now you're talking, I mean, I'm just not sure. And then we talk about that. And then what happens with Medicaid? Is anything going to happen? Mark, it's so true, Robert, that you can't look at it that way because how many small businesses closed during COVID? A whole lot of them. I don't know, but that was COVID. But they opened up afterwards when they were allowed to open. A lot of small businesses closed because they had to under the law. It was a different game. This is capitalism. This is the president of the United States saying, here are tariffs. The tariffs are going to cut into your supply lines. Therefore, you're not going to be able to stay in business. It's a totally different issue. Joe, I see you talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say during COVID, there were
Edward.
there are things that were put in place to help protect the small businesses. There's these loans that they gave to businesses. I got one for my business, and we didn't have to pay it back if we kept people employed in the business. Are we going to need to do something like that to help the small businesses this time around?
No, they won't do it. It doesn't matter. It's not even an issue. Robert, go grow some carrots. That doesn't hurt. Chinese supply lines are a great weakness. They are on stuff we need, Robert. But like for biotech and stuff like that, for medicine. But for toys and stuff, that's not a weakness. It makes costs cheaper for us, less money for people to buy, and they could do okay and we could do okay. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with both sides doing okay? Is there ever been a problem with that? There seems to be a problem here. Everybody thinks it's either us or them, but it isn't. So for the small stuff, you need the Chinese, and that's what the small business need. Where are they going to move? They're going to move to Vietnam? They can't move to Vietnam tomorrow. They can't move to India tomorrow. Shoot, India and Pakistan are dropping, at least India's dropping bombs on Pakistan. So who knows what's going on over there? Nobody's going to put money in there so fast. You're not going to build dolls here in America. The head of Mattel said that. And I did a big interview with him. He said you can't do it here. People don't want to do that kind of work. It's not what people do. They do it there in other countries. And then it's like they exchange our money for stuff, or we give them software or the stuff they learn. That's what it is. That's how it works. But you can't just shut it down. Okay. We need what? It's the small stuff. Ask the small businesses, Robert, what they need from China. That's the problem. Okay. As of today, look, you want to cut them off, fine. But don't cut them off. It's like what they did firing everybody. They just they fired everybody, and suddenly they found out, whoops, nobody's looking at the nuclear bombs, and whoops, nobody's doing this or that. It's the same thing here. You just don't get rid of it. You talk to the small businesses, you say, are you going to get hurt? Get prepared. We won't have tariffs for you for like a year while you start moving. That's called being smart, Robert. That's called working with American businesses, and we didn't do it. Okay? We didn't do it. Joseph, I don't think any Americans should leave. I love America. What are you talking about? All liberals should
I
leave?
don't understand why should liberals leave?
All
All
of them.
liberal. Why should all liberals leave? I don't get that.
Well, if they all look like us, I can kind of understand, because if we leave, then the good looking quotient of America will go up, Dr. V. I have to look at it that
That
way,
I can't
right?
disagree with. That's a point.
Robert, of course China should talk. Why shouldn't we talk? They're talking. I mean, big deal. We're getting hurt. They're getting hurt. Our supply lines are getting crushed. They're getting crushed, Robert. And they're getting hurt too. So everybody should have been talking at the beginning. We shouldn't have put 145% tariffs on China. It just didn't make sense. It's just making a point. Oh, a lot of them have lied, Silkies. Amazon's talked about it and showed people have seen where they are. So a lot of the small stuff is already starting to go up in price. And some of the cars, what is it, Ford, I think, is just raised prices on some cars. All this stuff's just slowly starting in live. You're also making our point. You can't just say Amazon prices are different prices for different things. Our point is different things are going to go up at different times, go down. He just got a phone call. Different prices are going to go up at different times depending on we see it, Joe, depending on what the supply line is. So as the supply lines come in, certain things are going to go up. We told everybody. Everybody knows certain things go up, certain things go down, but it's still going to be the supplies are still a problem, and the prices overall going to keep going up, because if there's no supply, it means prices are going up. But if you don't have a job, maybe you can't afford it if you're not making the same amount. It's sorry phone call. Billionaires are unhappy. Robert, you should be as unhappy as a billionaire. Joe and I should be as unhappy as a billionaire. Assuming they got their health, life's good. I ain't too worried about them. So they end up having to pay out some cash here and there. They're ahead of the game. If the small businesses get smashed, who's going to step in to those businesses to make the money? Let me think. Oh, will it be poor people? No. Will it be regular people? No. They'll be the ones smashed. It'll only be the rich people who got the cash to go in there to do it. And that's where we are with this. And people are just think about all that. Liberal college students, they have to pay back their loans, Joseph. They're not all liberal. A lot of them are conservative. They got to pay back their loans. That's life. That's life. Who sang that? Ray Charles. Was Ray Charles? That's life. Remember that song? That's life. It's life. You got to pay. You got to pay. Port of Tacoma, nothing going, nothing coming. Live, you hit it. We just lost Dr. V again. Got another phone call. He's just either that or he went underground. It already all went down. Maybe they will free to Gaza. Yeah, that's going to really work. So you look at this and you say, what are we going to do with this? We can't do anything except sit back and get prepared. Get prepared for these short-term. Are you there? Do I hear you? Get prepared for these small businesses to really start getting hurt. Just get prepared. And you're going to be hearing it more and more and more. Hey, isn't the GDP down? The gross domestic product went down, a week ago? I think we've lost Dr. V for good. The gross domestic product went down. Every excuse was, well, the reason is because we bought more from them. But that's not the overall reason. The GDP measures a whole bunch of stuff. It just means we didn't produce as much. That's what it means. We didn't produce as much. If we're not going to be producing as much, we're not going to be selling. How about all the agriculture? Has anybody seen all the issue with the agriculture here in America? Middle America, where does our agriculture sell their stuff? They sell it to Americans, but they sell it to people around the world. Suddenly, we're cutting off our agriculture. The ag has to pay so much more money. They're getting tariffed themselves by other countries who aren't buying from them, and our agriculture, our farmers are getting handled. COP had 40 years, CCP. Did you see the Sunday NBC? Yeah, great. 100 countries find first to answer. I don't understand. Maybe 100 countries were forced finally to answer what? What are they forced to answer? That they said hello, that they say goodbye, that they say we love you, that they say they don't love you? What does that mean? I don't understand. The interview was crazy, Mark. You sit there, you listen, but you see, it's him. And the thing is, I think we've lost Dr. V for good. It seems that the problem, that it's not a problem. He is what he is. You have to accept They voted for it, Chief, but the farmers are in trouble right now. And I know some of them who I've talked to who are crying because they're getting handled by these tariffs. It's just really just a problem. Mark, well, what he's raised his hand, wasn't he supposed to say he was going to follow the Constitution? The idea of all this is he says what he wants to say because he wants no blame. So he always says, remember, it's always the same answer. I don't know. I haven't read about it. I haven't seen it. My lawyers will take care of it. Little Marco will take care of it. Somebody else will take care of it. That's President Trump. It's their problem, their fault. He's leading from the top. He keeps his hands a bit off of it so they don't get too dirty. And then he can sit there and go, well, that person did it. That person did it. I'm letting them stay. And that's just what he does. That's just where it is. So who cares what? Who cares buy from Mexico? Mexico getting rich. Chief, Mexico, a deal with America was negotiated by Donald Trump. So are you saying that the deal negotiated by Donald Trump, Chief, and I'm asking you, the deal negotiated by Donald Trump was bad? Is that what you're saying? If Mexico's making money, it's because of the deal negotiated by Donald Trump and signed in 2018 when he was president of the United States. Well, Chief, what does that say? This is who you want. Like, he's our president. Does that tell you that our president is not a good negotiator? Does that say he's pretty bad? It sure is cheaper. It's impossible monkey juice, except for certain things, except for things like services. Our services are cheap. Our intellectual property stuff here is cheap. We can buy electronics cheaply, but we get that from China. But our intellectual property, you can get on and get your IT, you get on after you buy your phone. Look at all that technology we've got. Nobody else has that technology. Free technology. When I say free, I mean freedom. Not like in China where you have to have a green number on or a green button on your phone to let you interface with people in China at that time. If you don't, you're not allowed to. Or are we going to get there? I don't know. USA government is to blame for what's going on? No, it's live. What are you going to pay more for? The dolls? Come on. You're going to pay 10%, 20, 30, 40% more? No, you won't. You're going to, how much more? If China, I mean, we're going to move it, but if you had the TV that you were going to pay $1,500 for, and suddenly now it's going to cost $1,800, you're glad to pay the $300 and it's no better, and maybe it won't even be as good. Who knows? That's the problem. Okay, Chinese goods, it's not a matter of the Chinese goods. There are certain things that we do, guys, that we do well. There are certain things that China and Vietnam, it's not just China, Europe, everywhere does things well. Any other places in Asia, they do things well. We do things well here. That's why in open trading, it's good. That's why being able to deal with the rest of the world is good. Instead of saying to the rest of the world, kiss my ass, quote unquote, that's what President Trump said. Instead of saying that, you come in there and you go, wow, I got a problem. I want to work with the rest of the world. Let's see how we can make sure we can make the pie bigger so we all can have more pizza to eat together instead of making the pie small. Because when you have a small pie, you have to cut it up a whole bunch of ways. If the pie isn't that small, but the pie is bigger, you get a bigger slice. Everybody's happy. The American dollar was the best. People don't want to buy our bonds as quickly anymore. And those who are holding our bonds, who knows what they're going to do with them? Are they ever going to try to sell them out? The word was when we had that crash about a month ago that the Japanese were selling our bonds. That's the kind of problem you have. Trump, is it, it's just, Chief, who knows you ever get another USA car? Why wouldn't you buy one anyhow? Mark, I agree with you. The problem we've got here is that it's just, we have to get ready. Just get prepared, lay back, let it slowly come over you, be prepared. Don't get too bummed. Just let it just take you over. Don't let it bother you too much because we're going to have to deal with it. And then when we deal with it and you see it, and you can say, I knew this was going to happen. We all knew this was going to happen. Then you go out there and you start protesting and you let people know how you feel. And those who are Trump voters, you can feel that way, who aren't Trump voters, or you can still like Trump. But there's a real problem here. And that problem is, as I was saying, prices are going up and we're looking at stagflation. I lived through stagflation. Stagflation before computers was, they just kept putting another price on top of the old price. So you could see something that was there a week or weeks before, and now there's a new price on top of it, and then another new price. And people used to go in and pull the prices off to try to get back to the old price. It was just flying. Interest rates were through the roof. I don't think we're there now, but look at mortgages. Mortgage rates haven't gone down. They're still almost 7%. What good's that? That's not helping. Our housing isn't that good. We've got all this stuff. We just have to get ready. We just have to get ready. Okay? Point two today. FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. You see all these crashes going on, or almost crashes. You see how Newark went down. The entire Newark traffic for a minute and a half, the controllers couldn't see or hear anything. All they were doing was keeping their fingers crossed, hoping that no planes would crash in the air. Now look, this is a problem that has been around for years and years and years. However, we find out now that during the Trump administration, you know how we had the helicopter crash at National Airport with the plane coming in? Well, it happens, I think just the other day, that another Army helicopter went out on a scenic tour of the Pentagon, which interfered with some planes coming into land. Is the Army doing anything about that? Why is Hegseth allowing this to happen? And where's the FAA? They ask this guy who's the head of the FAA what's going on, and he never has an answer. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. What if that helicopter crashed into another plane? And why do the planes have to move out of the way when it has 40, 50, 60, 70 people on the plane, and you got some big timers cruising around getting a scenic view of the Pentagon and the helicopter? Come on. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Good enough for Eva. I don't understand Clark. Let me tell you, Clark, Superman was a good guy. I just never understood how they didn't know Clark Kent was Superman. I mean, you watch the old shows. I grew up with George Reeves. Alf come to the glasses. He doesn't look the same. He looks exactly the same. Talks the same. Has the same inflections. It's always, how can people not know Superman is Superman? How can people not, how can people not know Superman's Clark Kent? I don't understand. So, Clark, I'm with you all the way here. I love Superman. So here we are with that. So at the same time, so you look at this, Newark. Now remember, Newark has been shut down it was shut down for like a day. I think they shut it down. Would you want to fly through Newark, New Jersey? Think about it. The entire system crashed. And it crashed before, and they didn't tell us about it. The FAA didn't tell us anything. What's going on with the Trump administration? Why can't you tell people what's going on? Why are you even letting anybody fly in there? Why hasn't this been a focus for a while? Why are people just finding out about it now? Why was the Trump administration hiding this? Why can't they even give us an answer as to why the Army is out having scenic tours over the Pentagon and interfering with commercial flights coming into national? I can't tell you. I don't know. Can you tell me? I don't understand. And then you start talking about the Army and how, and the top people of the Army. Remember, we had Signal. We had all these people going in like Hegseth and putting in their information. Anybody could have seen it. It went to that journalist. Well, now we have found out that, we were hitting the Houthis nonstop. Do you know that we've lost another plane that fell off the deck of one of our aircraft carriers? We have lost, I think, 4 planes from our own negligence. What's going on? I thought Pete Hegseth was like the man. I thought Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, was so on top of everything. I thought the president said this guy is great. How come, like in a few days, we lost 2 major airplanes that cost us millions of dollars that go into the drink because something went wrong? What are we doing? I thought our armed forces were so much better because Donald Trump was president. I thought all this was happening. Yeah, I think he was giving her the helicopter tour, Spartacus, because I'm wondering about this. It is Trump's fault, Mark. Look, things happen, okay? Accidents happen. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 of them in the last few days. How are you losing planes? Americans are losing planes on their aircraft carriers, letting them go into the water. I think the two pilots had to eject out of there. I mean, think about this. And what's Trump doing about it? Nothing. You hear anybody talk about it? No. You hear Hegseth talk about what he's going to do to clean it up? No. Because he talks about doing push-ups and being a warrior and being a man and being everything he ever wanted to be, but he's not a leader, and he's letting the entire Defense Department fall apart. It's easy to fire generals. Maybe we have too many generals. Who knows? No, I'm not pooping, Mark. What you're missing is, how am I wrong here? Tell me, Mark, where I'm wrong. We lost 2 planes in the last few days, fell off the ship. This is who? Biden's fault. There's an issue here. You got a Secretary of Defense who is incompetent. He's had real problems. He put out battle plans that anybody could have seen. He just has issues. He brings his wife into all the meetings. Come on, let's get it straight here. Where is the American dream? It's kind of gone. Dude is distracted by politics. He is distracted by politics. More than politics, he's distracted by looking good. He's distracted by being the man. He's distracted by showing everybody he's a tough guy, a young tough guy who can be everything but be a good leader. Because what kind of a leader are you when you're letting planes fall off carriers and you're not even talking about it? You're not even dealing with it. Excuse me, you want to get rid of generals? Why don't you get rid of whoever's running those ships, or find out why those ships are having issues? But you're not doing it, are you? Where is Secretary Hegseth? Where is our Secretary of Defense? And where is our defense? I'm really kind of wondering. President Trump came in and said he was going to have peace basically all around the world. Israel's still smashing on Gaza. The Houthis are still fighting with Israel. We stopped fighting with the Houthis. I'm wondering if it's because we lost those planes that went into the drink and Trump doesn't want to deal with it anymore. Who knows who the Houthis is going to be hitting? We're still there. We're still talking to Iran, but nothing has happened there. He keeps talking about his Vladimir, and his negotiator goes and talks to Putin and sees his soul the way Bush did and falls for it. Meanwhile, Putin keeps bombing everybody in Ukraine, hitting Kyiv, hitting everywhere. But Trump does nothing and says, please, Vlad, because he's afraid of him, because he can't deal with it. But then, of course, he's going to have his big military parade as they go down in Washington to show how tough everybody is with their tanks. Enough to make one wonder what's going on. Foreign policy is really pretty bad. I'm telling you, keep an eye on India and Pakistan. They seem to be wanting to hold back. All it takes is a little push. You got the Muslims and the Hindus, and they hate each other. Remember, India split up. Pakistan split off of India. The Muslims went to India. Most of the chunk of the Muslims went to Pakistan. There are many left in India, but a chunk went to Pakistan, made it a Muslim country. And India is majority Hindu, and they just don't get along, and they've never gotten along. So it's a real problem there. Let's get into where we are, okay? We are Devo. We are Devo. What's best world politics? I know we are the best. Right now, we are in de-evolution. We've gone backwards. We've made it happen. We are tails with little snails. It's really not good. And I'm saying, just lay back. I'm just not getting too worked up. We're going to see what happens. But when I get worked up, I like to listen to music. And the album of the week for this show is Queen's first album, 1973. Queen's first album. But why do I have 2 of them? Because the first one was in gold. Just the way President Trump likes it. The second, embroidered gold. The second one, I loved the album so much, I tore it up. I had to get a new version. Was in white and wasn't embroidered. But this album by Queen was incredible. I saw them with Kansas. Unfortunately, the right side of their amps blew out, so I could go play one side. Kansas made it with all their amps. I don't know what happened. It really bummed me out. But they were still great. I saw them later. They were still great. This album was the album that I just could never take it off my turntable. Keep Yourself Alive, just to start it. Doing All Right. Great King Rack. My Fairy King. Forget the names of the words. I'm sorry, the words of the titles. This is incredible music. They just blew out of the speakers. 1973 sounded very, not operish, but very arty, but at the same time, incredible rock. The guys were good. Very strong rhythm. Brian May's great on guitar, and of course, what I have to say about Freddie Mercury. Then you go to the other side, The Night Liar. That's one of their greatest songs of all time. Keep Yourself Alive and Liar. And the Night Comes Down, Modern Times Rock and Roll, Quick, Right On Through, Son and Daughter of Jesus, Seven Seas of Rye they could have gotten rid of. Except for that, this is one of the greatest opening debut albums of all time. Queen's first album. Queen's first album. When you listen to it, play it loud, put it on. Just listen to the first side. Enjoy it. Don't listen to all the other stuff. See how great it was. Then flip it. Listen to it again, or at least digitally flip it. Listen to it again. I'm telling the other side, you're going to go crazy. Queen's first album. Get it. And I'll see you because I got to go. Something came up. I got to run. I got to find out what's going on with Joe. Sunday at 11. We're here every Sunday at 11. And if you're square, don't be there. That's the way it is. Period. We'll see you Sunday at 11. Just an American Citizen. Please go right on to the to my channel and to Dr. Joseph Volpicelli on YouTube. We're there. We'll see you Sunday. Thank you.